Hey, seventh graders, welcome to my porch. So, it's such a beautiful day that I decided to make today's lesson from my porch. And, anyways, doesn't matter. We are moving on in our talk about linear expressions, and we are actually going to be moving into linear equations. Now, I want you to remember the difference between equations and expressions. Think really quick for a minute. The difference between equations and expressions. Remember, expressions don't have an equal sign. We're not trying to find the answer for anything, but equations do have an equal sign. We are trying to find something. So we are now, Trenton, we are now going to be solving for x. Now we are going to be trying to figure out what x is when it's in an equation. So we need to know something. Yesterday we talked about factoring, and we talked about the opposite of factoring is distributing, and the opposite of distributing is factoring. Now, I want you guys to think for a second. What's the opposite of addition? How would you undo addition? You would subtract. If you were adding 3, to undo your addition, you would subtract 3. The opposite of subtraction is addition. If you were subtracting 3, to undo that, you would add 3. That is a very important thing to know as we move into this lesson. Now, there are two really important properties of addition and subtraction that you guys need to know for this lesson. I am going to link a PowerPoint that I have about the two theories so that you can have them and you don't have to worry about trying to copy them down while I'm writing while I'm talking, I'll talk about them and then we'll see them in action and then you guys can go back to the Google Slides and write them down in your notebooks. Okay? That's the plan. But I do still want you to pay attention and listen. So the first property is called the addition property of equality. It's called the addition property of equality. Excuse me, my piece of paper is just very tight in my book. So the addition property of equality says that, let's see if I can do this. If A equals B, then you can say that A plus C is equal to B plus C. If A equals B, then A plus C would be equal to B plus C. What does that mean? If they said that 2 equals 2, it's a true statement. If 2 equals 2, then 2 plus 3 would be equal to 2 plus 3. If 2 equals 2, then 2 plus 3 is equal to 2 minus 3. Okay? Simple. If two numbers are equal to each other, adding the same thing to them gets an equal equation, equal on both sides. Now, the subtraction property of equality is the same thing, but with subtraction. It says that if A equals B, A minus C equals B minus C. If A equals B, A minus C equals B minus C. So if I said again that 2 equals 2, then I could say that 2 minus 3 is equal to 2 minus 3. Makes sense. It's just putting words to what you already know. Don't get confused. Don't think too much. Don't overthink things. It is putting words simply to what you already know about addition and subtraction. So with that now, what you're going to be asked to do in your homework and in the future is you are going to be asked to solve for x. So you're going to be given something like this. X minus 1 equals 5, or x minus 5 equals negative 1, and solve for x. It's going to ask you to solve for x. How do you solve for x? This is important. The first thing that you need to do, the only way that you can solve for x, is you need to get x by itself. You need to get x alone. Get it by itself. X needs to be on its own side of the equal sign. So if we look at this equation right now, is x on its own side of the equal sign? Nope, it has a -5. How do we undo subtraction? We want to get rid of this -5. The only way to get rid of this -5 is to do the opposite. So instead of subtracting 5, we're going to add 5. And when we do that, it cancels out the 5. Now, 7th graders, that 5 doesn't go away. Just like fractions, what you do to one side of the equal sign, you do to the other side of the equal sign. So you've added 5 to this side of the equal sign. You need to add 5 to the other side of the equal sign. You have to do the same thing to both sides of the equal sign. And then you simply add -1 plus 5, 4. X equals 4.